In chapter 76 of the manga, a third-year Gojo was officially dubbed the strongest after learning almost everything Jujutsu had to offer. But before that, Geto and Gojo together were the self-proclaimed strongest. Of course, that wasn't the case by a long shot. So who exactly was the strongest before Gojo awakened? Well, in today's video, let's talk about exactly that. What's up guys, Blzkn here, and in today's video, I've got a pretty controversial topic. I've put together 5 candidates for the strongest before Gojo's awakening, and we're going to find out who was actually the strongest before that fated day. Today, I've got my guy Blzkn for his opinions as well, so definitely go check bro out. If you enjoy JJK content like this, go ahead and subscribe. You'll get more videos, and we'll both be happy. Alright, this is how this video is going to go, so listen up and listen good. I have 5 candidates like I said before for the strongest, and I'm going to go over them in such an order that the last person I cover is who I actually think was the strongest. This means the first person I talk about is going to be the least likely to be the strongest. The same thing will apply to Blzkn's input, and we'll be taking turns. Understood? Great, so let's get into our first candidate. Suguru Geto. Alright bro, I had to put bro here because he was actually in the conversations of the strongest. Gojo even acknowledges him enough to put his strength alongside his as the strongest, and the same cannot be said after his awakening, so we know there must be a little bit of truth there. Of course, I do think Gojo before his awakening was pagging bro up, but they do bicker a lot. I feel like they have some level of relativity. After all, Geto's physicals are greater than Gojo's. When Geto fights Toji, his cursed spirit actually manages to damage him, and even if it was slightly, it wasn't even his first plan of action. He actually wanted to grab Toji's cursed spirit off of him, but by the grace of Gege, Toji's cursed spirit rejected the attack because he's too attached to Toji. It really makes you wonder how that's possible, but then Geto thought he could take Rika from Yuta, even though there was an infinitely higher relationship between those two. Anyways, that's besides the point. Geto isn't that guy, and he's definitely not the strongest before the day he almost died. So count bro out.
So at number 5 we have Geto, and listen, this hurts me to say, because those who know, I am a pretty big Geto defender, but listen, that pre-ICT version before Gojo awakens, he's kind of buns. I would just be so honest, he's really not that guy. I know they were trying to do the we're the strongest trope between Geto and Gojo. I don't think the gap is as significant as people say, but for the simple fact that we saw when he fought Toji, he was placed as a grade 1 based on the chart when he was trying to get the cursed spirit, and I'm pretty sure everybody as a unanimous agrees that Gojo was a special grade. It kind of doesn't bode well from him from just the grading system itself. And then let's top it all off. What feats does this guy have? He got bodied by Toji. The best thing he did was face a grandpa, which he snapped his neck. Like, and there's some Q agents where, you know, they came off the building. There's nothing really to scale from Geto. So he's mostly just lost because of process of elimination. And I can't lie, he got done dirty, you know. I'll be so real. People be hating on Geto, but he never got some showcase to really be him. Because the main part where he becomes him is in volume 0, bruv. And there is no domain expansion. There's no RCT. Well, I guess Yuta got RCT. I don't know how he got it, but he got it. And Geto got nothing. So yeah, he's 5th.
The next person I decided to put as a candidate was Kenjaku. Now, at this point, he's obviously not in Geto's body because of common sense. He's actually in Yuji's mom's body, and the day before Gojo awakened was actually after Yuji was born. In the latest chapter, we found out Yuji was always with his grandpa, and earlier in the series, Yuji only just started remembering his parents. He didn't know anything about them. So we literally have no idea where Kenjaku went or whatever the hell he was doing years after Yuji's birth. What needs to be mentioned, however, is that Kenjaku actually got his gravity technique from Yuji's mom. In chapter 208, Yuki uses a black hole that had the potential to destroy the entire world, but Tengen held it back, so the power was mostly to delete Yuki herself and Kenjaku. Kenjaku of course survives, but not because of Geto's body, but because of Yuji's mom's curse technique. The gravity curse technique that Kenjaku's been using the entire time until then was actually the curse technique reversal of anti-gravity. Bro did a whole lot to get out of the black hole, making himself a domain to boost the output of his anti-gravity so he wouldn't get deleted. This is cool and all, but he quite obviously lacks the physicals to compete with anyone, and the only thing bro has going for him is his curse techniques and domain expansion, coupled up with his insane battle IQ. With that said, I still put him above someone like Gojo.
And then at number 4, and honestly, number 4 is interesting because you could argue they're easily number 3 as well. The main reason I do have number 4 is because, well, it is Toji. Mainly because he did have an elaborate plan for killing Gojo. I know people will use this as an example to say that that means Gojo's so far. I do think Gojo is still far because, you know, he has infinity. The reason why Gojo is stronger with also his hacks and his abilities that he has as well is he has infinity. So he has to plan for it. He can't just rock up to Geto like he did, because Geto doesn't have anything special aside from curse manipulation to really protect him, compared to Gojo, who has, like I said, infinity. So there is a bigger difference to why that. But the fact that with how nerfed Gojo was, the implications of his speech, he did kind of make it out to be open-ended, so it's not necessarily a confirmation that Toji would lose once they did fight, because pretty much the fight in itself after the initial stab was pretty much improvisation, because his initial viewpoint was to be able to kill him. But the amount of nerfs Gojo had, you know, Rico he had to care about, which is why he got caught off guard. He was tired, being infinity for 3 days straight. He hadn't slept. Like, it was pretty much the worst case scenario for Gojo, that even if I can say that without that they're still somewhat relative, in my opinion all the evidence really points to Gojo being stronger, which does put Toji at 4. Not to mention Toji is mentally nerfed. I love that word. And rusty. He was more so mentally nerfed in the post-awaken match, as we saw he wouldn't have gone to rock up and fight Gojo in the first place. So I can cop out and say this isn't even full power Toji. So this works out perfect for me, really and truly. I don't care if people want to say, oh, you're coping, yada yada yada. Hold it. He's 4th.
The next 3 characters are the most controversial placements yet, but I'm going to take the risk and speak my mind. The next character we have is Gojo Satoru himself. I know, right? Gojo Satoru was top 3 strongest before Gojo Satoru? Anyways, yeah, Gojo's that guy. Up until his awakening, literally the only thing he had was Blue, Infinity himself, and Falling Blossom Emotion. That is it, and regardless of that, he's so dangerous, Toji had to wear him down to accomplish his mission perfectly. But that's the thing, his lack of an actual bag is what holds me back from just saying he was always the strongest. People love to bring up domains not really doing anything, and while that is true, if pre-awakened Gojo gets caught in a domain, he's cooked, because all he can do is weaken the attacks thrown at him with Falling Blossom Emotion, and then he'd have nothing to reset because he has no reverse curse technique. His durability isn't even all that at this point as well. The guy almost died to a normal knife. And this is why his awakening was so insane, because he jumped 2,000 levels just from learning one technique. Again, this doesn't mean Gojo was weak before his awakening, because I think he should be relative to the next 2 on our list, but I think he gets the short end of the stick because he has the worst domain counter in the entire series, low-key rivaling Hollow Wicker Basket.
And then number 3, that is my boy Gojo. Gojo is him. Even his pre-RCT is beating a lot of people. Don't let me say names because it's gonna get nasty. But yeah, I think obviously, like I said, he has so many nerfs already put out. He has Blue, which is still broken. Like, it makes him still the fastest sorcerer, bar maybe the projection sorcery users. I guess you could say he got much faster later on, but it still makes him hella fast. I mean, the fact that he was supposedly able to track Toji when he was a youth, but then my man with all his nerfs cannot track Toji, does kind of speak to a testament to how much he was nerfed. I mean, he does have infinity. I feel like people just, because I see a lot of people, they're like, yo, especially post-awaken, I won't say too much pre-awaken because he doesn't have the main expansion, he just isn't as strong. But the post-awaken, people will be saying, oh, this guy beats him, this guy how? He has infinity. Until they use domain expansion, them boys are cooked because they're not even faster than him and everything. But this isn't about post-awaken. I just be hating how people downplay that one, because he packs, I can't lie, he packs most of your favorite characters. I'll be so honest. And that's the same for the pre-reverse curse technique. I think that one just being substantially weaker, not even having red, so his main usage of putting down people is just blue. It does make it quite difficult for him overall. But I think, yeah, he's pretty strong. I think a lot of people underrate this Gojo pretty heavily, I can't lie. Like, in my personal opinion, there is a very good argument that Gojo just went from the strongest to even stronger. Like, the reason I have Gojo here is for the simple fact that he doesn't have a domain expansion, and the substantial stats isn't so significant like he is in his post-awakening form, which is why I will just spoil it, Yuki is number 2. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm thinking. I think this Gojo is mad underrated, and that's still my young goat, no matter what people say. So I think that will nicely set up for number 2.
Now, at the number 2 spot, this is where the crazy takes come in, but I'm willing to push an agenda real quick. At the number 2 spot, I've got Yuki Tsukumo. If you asked me for my list about a month ago, I would have had Yuki at number 1, but upon rereading her first and literally only fight in the series with my friend, I came to realize something. Yuki is overrated as fuck. Before you completely write me off as insane, walk with me real quick. Yuki has the most potent attacks in the entire series, and this is why for a long time I used to rate her as a top 5 in the entire verse. The thing is though, beyond having the most insane AP, what does Yuki have? Her speed is absolutely abysmal. She literally utilized a blind spot on Kenjaku to punch him, but then he still turned around and blocked her punch. Again, her attack potency and punches is top 1, but no one is going out of their way to contest it, especially with Yuki's speed. If you reread the entire fight with Kenjaku, the only way she gets an attack on him is by catching him off guard. And the literal only time she gets an attack on him cleanly is when he notes that her punches aren't as potent as they were before. In that instance, he took 2 punches to the face and retaliated literally immediately. What makes this worse is the fact that, as I briefly mentioned just now, as soon as you start damaging Yuki, the potency of her attacks drop drastically, even if she heals up with reverse curse technique. She took some damage from Kenny's domain and couldn't do any lasting damage to him after that. Not once did Kenny acknowledge how much damage he's taking and only refer to a hypothetical full health Yuki when he takes a kick to the face off guard. Now, with all of that yap aside, I do still have Yuki above the likes of pre-awakened Gojo, and there's a reason for that. Domain expansion. It's implied she has one, we of course never see it, but if she pops it against Gojo, there is literally nothing he can do about it. While he can lower the damage the sure hit may cause to him, he's dying to the attacks Yuki will pile on him while buffed because she's literally in her domain. I also don't think she'd waste time not opening her domain and risking getting caught with a blue because of his infinity stopping her from... Wait. Yuki's curse technique is literally stated to ignore concepts. Do you guys think she'd be able to override the concept of slowing down infinitely? Let me know down in the comments. But with all that said, I made my point clear that Yuki is that guy, but she just wasn't the strongest when it came down to it. I'll go over my number 1 after Blzkn.
And as I just kind of spoiled a little bit earlier, it is Yuki. So with Yuki being the person who, you know, managed to fight against Kenjaku, everyone says Tengen sold. And listen, for the agenda, I will agree with you that even without Tengen, I still see Yuki getting packed up, but that is no question. This isn't about that. Yuki is very strong. Her ability is broken. She potentially could actually hit Gojo depending on how you think the mass works with infinity. I'm not here to do no science stuff. I obviously don't care. If you think it doesn't, it doesn't. If you think it does, it does. The whole point is that Yuki just has everything with reverse curse technique, domain expansion, a broken technique, and for the most part I would say that Yuki beats more people than that pre-RCT Gojo. So that is really how I'm thinking. However, I can't lie, if someone wanted to argue that this Gojo is even stronger than some of their people, I can hear arguments because his portrayal is pretty nutty overall. I can't lie, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm thinking. I think Yuki comfortably takes number 2. She's a dog and her ability is cold. I think it's one of the most broken curse techniques that we got for real. And unfortunately, the person who's number 1 beat her, and Choso and Tengen. So really and truly, it's just a matter of unfortunate.
At the number 1 spot for me, I have Toji Fushiguro. Toji is a superhuman in Yuki's eyes, and everything, even going into the narrative, implies he was the strongest. I like to remind you guys of the portrayal of the strongest. They're always the loneliest and no one could ever understand them, and that's exactly what Toji went through. I always use this panel to slander Maki and Naoya, but in reality there was truth to this. Toji was the strongest and then Gojo followed. However, Toji's burden as the strongest was a little bit different to Sukuna, Gojo, and Kashimo because they were at least loved. Toji was a ghost. No one wanted to prove themselves against him like the others did, and that's why no one even understood him. The sin of the insignificant is the ignorance of strength. He was literally ostracized despite being the strongest just because it wasn't a traditional interpretation of Jujutsu. He was a ghost to everyone except the next strongest and Naoya. Is it a coincidence that he was finally seen by Gojo? But even beyond just narrative scaling, I think Toji was just that guy. Again, I do think bro's relative to Gojo and Yuki, but they're not stepping to him. Especially when he's not rusty. His battle IQ just makes up for it all the more.
And then number 1 is my boy Kenjaku. So this one doesn't actually have Geto's body. So you're probably thinking, wait, how? You're saying with Kyory's body? The thing is, we don't know what body he was in before. But let's say it's Itadori's mom's body, yeah. I am headcanoning, so you can say I'm capping and this shouldn't be as high up as he is. That he would have had access to blood manipulation, because it seems as if everybody he gets, he has a chance to rewrite old curse techniques. So I'm assuming he would have blood manipulation. He still has an open domain expansion. He would have his anti-gravity systems or whatever that bonds technique is. It's actually not that nice, I promise. People gas it up so much, but it's gas because of the domain expansion usage. That thing isn't that nice. With that 2-meter radius, bro, allow it, man. But for me overall, yeah, Kenjaku's experience, even though he may be in a weaker body, because we don't know how fit for sorcery Kyory was overall, don't know how much curse energy reserves and stuff, but I'm really just going to headcanon his experience and everything, and the fact that he does have an open domain expansion as the ultimate hacks, that he's just number 1, or she. At this point, I don't know what gender Kenjaku is. He could be everything. So yeah, man, obviously thank you for having me, my man Restless Gambler. Kenjaku should be comfortably 1. If you disagree with my list, obviously flame me in the comments. I don't really see what you disagree with, but innit, let me know, innit. So yeah, man.
But what did you guys think about our list? Let me know down in the comments. Again, make sure to check out my guy Blzkn, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.